Hey, good afternoon. It's been a couple of days. Baruch Hashem, it's been hectic as we began Camp Gan Israel at Chestnut Hill. I'm actually walking right outside the Solomon Schechter campus that we rent so graciously from Solomon Schechter, and it's just been beautiful to see so many Jewish kinderlach, smiling faces, kids coming to camp every morning happy and leaving happy but not wanting to leave. And there's no greater joy than being able to nurture campers and give them a happy summer and give them a special connection to their Judaism, a special connection to the Holy Land of Israel. And that's really what Rooney and the staff try to do, is to imbue these children with a love for Israel, with a love for the Jewish people. And I'm a supporting actor for this part, but it's a special time. It's funny because these 2 weeks of Parshat Shlach and Korach are probably some of the greatest portions of the deepest mystical and esoteric ideas of the spies and Korach and who were they and what happened and what was their motivation. And we really didn't get a chance to deal with that. Maybe in the next few days we'll get back to doing Dvar Torahs, but I wanted to go on something very, very basic, which is what really makes a Jew tick. And what we can learn from Korach and the way the Torah portion begins. So we all know the story of Korach, or if you haven't studied it yet, I'll give you a little synopsis. Korach was Moses and Aaron's first cousin. He was a Levite. He wasn't a priest, he wasn't a Kohen, but he was a Levite. Now, here Moses became the leader, and then he gave Aaron the priesthood. And then he skipped over Korach to give someone else, one of his cousins, one of the leadership positions, and Korach was upset. And Korach rabble-roused, and he got engaged with many of the tribes of Israel to make a rebellion. And he turned to Moses and he said, "You're the leader, but why are you just giving Aaron to be the priest and you the Levite? What about me? I also want to be the high priest." And Moses tries to explain him to be content and to be happy with what God's directive was. And it's not about looking at what the next one is, but about being who you could be. But there's something very interesting. The first word in the Torah portion is Vayikach Korach ben Yitzhar ben Kahas ben Levi, and Korach took the son of Yitzhar, the son of Kahas, the son of Levi. And it's speaking about the 2.5 tribes of Israel that he gathered on his side through demagoguery. And the question, of course, is, it should have said not Vayikach, but Vayiyasev. Korach gathered. What does it mean to say Korach took? What does it mean that he took? And the rabbis tell us that the Torah is trying to impart a very important and powerful message to us here. You see, in life, there's 2 types of people. There's givers and there's takers. Some people are always giving. No matter what they have, it doesn't make a difference. And some people are always takers. They always want what someone else is giving. In Judaism, we say there's 2 hands that God gave us. Yamin Hashem Romeima, the right hand. The hand that we always use as the superseding hand in Judaism is the hand that gives. And the left hand is the hand that takes. And in everything in life, even in relationships, there could be the giving part and the taking part. I once read a book from Radin Steinsaltz. He has a small little book that's called Simple Truths, one of the great scholars of this past generation. And in this Simple Truth, he tries to speak about the big words in life: birth, death, marriage. And under love, he says there's 2 kinds of love. There's subject love and object love. Object love means that I love something because of what it gives to me. What am I getting? I love my spouse because they enhance my life. They make me happy. They do good things for me. Or there's subject love. I love them because I truly love them and I want to do whatever I could for them. For example, imagine you're sitting and having coffee with your wife, and your wife says, "Hey, you know, my parents are coming from the airport. Pick them up. Could you go to the airport and pick them up?" And you look at your wife and say, "Honey, I love you so much. I can't be apart from you. I can't go get them." Or there's the husband who gets up and he leaves because he really loves you. He wants to do what's good for you. And truthfully, he won't be close to you, but he'll be one with you. So in love and in every relationship we have, there's givers and takers. Vayikach Korach, the Torah tells us, listen, don't be like Korach. What was Korach's single first problem? Was that he was a taker. That he never wanted to be on the giving side. In Judaism, we know Even in Parsha Truma, God tells us, "V'yicholi truma," take from me a truma. That when you give, you're actually taking. Don't be like Korach, who always wants to be on the taking side. Don't be someone whose love is about the object and what it does for him, but about the subject and how you can enhance the subject. They say this cute story about these. It's the same thing with art. You could be looking at a beautiful piece of art, but you don't love the art. You love what it's doing for you, what it makes you feel, what part of you it wakes up, what it does to you. They say this story about this Frenchman, this Englishman, and this Russian guy, and they're looking at this beautiful, most magnificent painting of Adam and Eve in paradise before God chased them out. And the French guy says, wow, they must have been that the artist was a French artist. Why? He says, because look at the sensuous bodies, look how happy they are, look how passionate, look how much love. And then the Englishman says, nah, it's gotta be that the artist was an Englishman, because look how restrained they are, how regal they are. And then the Russian guy looks at him and says, two people without any clothing, no food but an apple, they think they're in paradise. Must have been a Russian artist. And the point is, why do you love the art? Why do you love your spouse? Why do you love anything? Is it because of what it does for you or what you give? And that's the message the Torah tells about. Yikach Korach. You want to know the first failure of Korach is that he was always taking, he wasn't giving. God gave us two hands to be on the giving end mostly. And it's interesting, there's a very famous custom that people have. They wear a red string on their left hand. You see many people do it. Go to the tomb of Rachel in Israel and they wear it. It's to cast off an evil eye. But what really is it? And the rabbis tell us, what's an evil eye? An evil eye is when you look at someone and you say, why don't I have what they have? And that's why we wear a red string on our left hand, because left is the taker hand. And whenever we want to cast an evil eye and look at someone and say, oh, what can I get from them? We remind ourselves, hey, stop that left hand, stop taking. Be on the giving end, be happy. Be able to give instead of being able to take. May Hashem give each and every one of you. I'm walking around camp, I'm seeing the Kinderlach here. There is nothing that makes a human being happier, truly inward happiness, than being able to give, being able to nurture, being able to love, but not because of what you want, not because of what it gives you, but because of what you give to the other person. So may Hashem give you to always be on the giving end, to always be able to give, and to find true happiness from what you give. God bless you and have a good day.